We begin on August 13th, 1992, in Lewiston, Idaho, where 18-year-old Alex Bayless and his friend Eric Frensdorf were spending the afternoon together riding Waverunners on the Snake River.
Alex and I, we've probably known each other probably since, like, I'd say third grade at least. We always kind of hung out together with all the other guys.
Alex had asked me if it was all right if he took the Waverunners out that day for Eric's birthday. And I said, not a problem. And I remember him going down the hallway, and he'd gone by my door, and I hollered, Alex. Came back, what? And I said, hey.
In America today, professors are teaching marble statues are now racist. Geometry is perpetuating white supremacy. It's everything these days.
Messages poured into Ted Thornhill's email and voicemail.
Another group of kids from the same high school were water skiing on the river that afternoon, including 18-year-old Cameron Miller.
We saw Alex and Eric. I wasn't like best friends with them, but I knew them well. Lauren was water skiing, and they had been behind her, and she had gotten scared because it made her nervous having the people behind her. The river was very calm. There weren't very many people out, and Alex and Eric, they wanted us to go slow to jump the wakes. When you go slow, the wakes of the boat are very large, especially right near the engine. They had been playing around, and then they went their separate ways on either side of the boat, circled around and came towards the boat at the same time.
And they both just came straight for each other.
And it was so fast. I had never seen anything like that. I just knew that someone was hurt. There had to be someone hurt.
I didn't really realize what had happened at first, and I remember looking over and seeing Alex in the water face down. And I swam over as fast as I could. And I pulled him up out of the water, and there was no breathing whatsoever. And I remember him having blood come out of both ears. And that scared me, and I thought, you know, when I remember seeing that a long time ago and hearing that, that's for sure brain damage.
When 18-year-old Alex Bayless collided with his friend Eric Frensdorf while riding their Waverunners, Alex was left unconscious, floating face down in the river. A group of kids who knew them saw the accident from their boat and rushed over to help.
Grab a hand.
We knew we had to be careful with his head, his back. We didn't know what was wrong.
Be careful of his head!
We just wanted to be as careful as we could to not hurt him more than he was, because we knew he was very hurt and very on the verge of life and death.
While Eric went to find a phone to call for help, Cameron drove Alex to shore.
Alex was all blue. He could barely breathe. He was making choking noises. The worst part was not knowing what was wrong with him at the time.
When we continue.
He had a soft spot in the back of the head. That indicated to me that he had a skull fracture, and my concern was to get him to the hospital.
Rescue units with the Clarkston Fire Department were dispatched to the scene, including paramedic Jerry Altmiller.
Let's get his neck straightened out. His left pupil's blown.
Alex was having some problems breathing.
Let's go ahead and get this neck braced.
And he had a soft spot in the back of the head. which usually indicates that there's been a skull fracture.
Just hang on to him and don't let him...
My concern was to get him to the hospital alive, because I didn't think he was going to make it.
18-year-old Alex was admitted to St. Joseph Regional Medical Center in extremely critical condition. His parents, Bob and Joanne, were notified of his accident.
It was just like a brick hitting me. And I cried all the way up to the hospital, Lord, please save my son. That's all I could think of was pray for help.
Neurosurgeon T. William Hill was called in to treat Alex.
It was evidence from the CT scan that he had suffered a very serious head injury. It was impossible to tell at that point in time whether he would wake up, or if he did wake up, whether he'd be left with a serious deficit.
Just before Alex went into surgery, his parents got to see him.
It was like I couldn't believe what I was going through. This morning he was with us, and now he's laying here. It just can't be true. One of the nurses came up and asked us if we had any other family, any sisters or brothers, and we told them yes, and they told us that we should probably get a hold of them. And at that time, I knew it was really bad. And that we might lose him.
Following surgery, Alex remained in a coma.
It's hard to be able to tell a family that their loved one's not improving. Over the first 5 or 6 days, he developed a serious pneumonia. We noted subsequently that he was not moving his right side, and these all worried his parents. Each time we brought him more bad news. Until we see that come down, we have to leave the monitor in place.
I didn't care if he was paralyzed, if he couldn't speak, if he just lived. I wanted him to wake up. I wanted him to look at me. And he just laid there, you know? And I just kept talking to him. I wanted some kind of reaction.
We miss you. And then it was just a waiting game. It was just numb and helplessness. It's the only thing I can say to describe the feeling.
I remember going there to see Alex, and I started feeling guilty because of what had happened to him. He's in the hospital right now, and I'm virtually, nothing really had happened to me. I just remember thinking, why did it happen to him and not me?
Then he opened his eyes. I'll never forget that look as long as I live. It was a horrible, distant, empty look.
Alex Bayless spent 4 weeks in the hospital recovering, and 2 months in physical and occupational therapy. His sister, Bobby Jo, was often at his side.
He did have to learn to do a lot of things that he already knew how to do previously over again. But he did it.
In the years since the accident, Alex graduated from high school a member of the National Honor Society. But his rehabilitation has been difficult.
I remember one time they had me take a test for cognitive retraining, and I couldn't do it. And I called my father from the hospital, and I was crying to him on the phone because I couldn't do it. And I'd tell him, I'd say, I can remember I used to be able to do this.
Every once in a while you can see when you're talking to him that he's struggling to remember things. But he really worked hard to get where he is today. I'm so proud of that kid. I'm so proud of Alex that I can't even describe how proud I am of him.
I couldn't do nothing about it. Well, after the accident happened, we became really close. Started sharing each other's feelings more and more. Just the whole accident changed the way I thought about life. Anything can happen. You could be having fun one time, and and snap in a second, and there it is.
Everything that happened from the point of the accident forward has been good. From the moment that Eric turned Alex over on his back and saved him from drowning. And it's been good. And we thank everybody for it.
You shoot your granny shot.
Unfortunately, we had to be shown the hard way what a helmet could have done. If you're going to be riding a personal watercraft, you should wear a helmet.
Those things are dangerous. They're not just toys out there. People can get hurt on them, even killed. And I'd like people to know that.
They might draft me on the Raiders.
He's my only brother, but he's still an ornery little turd. The accident did bring us closer. I love my brother a lot. And I'm so glad he's alive. We all are.